Middle management is the hardest job in any organization. Because when you're junior, your only job is really to do your job. That's it. And you get trained how to do your job. I mean, you all have to be licensed and go to school and learn how to do the job of being an accountant. And if you're really good at it, you eventually get promoted. And you eventually get promoted to a position where you're now responsible for the people who do the job you used to do. But the problem is they don't give us any training how to do that. You know? And senior people are thinking about entirely different things. They're thinking about the firm, they're thinking about strategy. And the problem is, so you have this middle group that's in this sort of weird mix where they have to be strategic but not majority strategic, and they have to be tactical but they're not majority tactical, and they have to translate what's going up here to down there and down here to up here, and most things break in the middle. Because I'll meet firms where the leadership's amazing and they're visionary and they care about people and they want to do the right thing, and then I go down to the front line and they're like, yeah. And so I'm like, what happened between here and there? And it's the middle. Most things break in the middle.
It's more efficient when it comes from the top, but of course it doesn't have to come from the top. The tail can absolutely wag the dog. And I think middle management is the most difficult job in a company, and it's also the place where the most change and the most impact can happen. I've met so many fantastic senior leaders who are infinite-minded and long-term focused and all the things, and then you get down to the front lines and you're like, it's a complete disaster. And so you ask your question, well, what's happening in the middle? Because something's getting lost in translation. And being middle management is the most difficult job in the company, because you have to be able to play both, right? Because if you're a gate agent for an airline, you want them getting that plane to leave on time, beginning, middle, and end, on to the next, right? But you want them to be aware of the infinite game, which is treat customers well, because we want them to come back again. Like, there's another thing that happens after this. It's not just getting the plane off on time. When you're the most senior leader, you want them playing predominantly an infinite game, thinking long-term, advancing the vision, but you want them to be aware of the finite, because their decisions will ripple down and have an impact in the organization. If you're in the middle, you have to be able to translate and play both. It is the most difficult. But there's a context. And so yes, it's not about one or the other. It's about understanding the continuum and understanding where we are in the continuum. And I think that where senior management can help is really helping middle management, understand that the difficulty of their job, the transition they're in, and trying to give them as much context and coaching as possible, because most things break in the middle.